ECU. I'm just going to make another guide as a part 2 for the guide that I made before about the way that we level heroes. Just as a quick recap, I've mentioned before about how important just having 3 heroes are, because the 3 heroes are the ones that provide all the defense and the attack for everything that you do. So just as a little bit of an extension to what I've already talked about, we should be leveling our heroes in such a way, so these are my top 3 here that you can see. The marksman should be ideally the headpiece and the feet, which again I'll just label here just so you can see, and these are the ones that are going to cause the most damage, and you can see that I've used my forgery on them to make them level 10 and 11. The other 2 aren't important, they will catch up later. And it will be the same for your lancers. You can see here that the same on these. I've not advanced them yet to red. I'm in the process of doing so, but again they're the most important. And then for your infantry, it's going to be the opposite. Infantry have plenty of defense boosts, so leveling these 2 pieces of gear first are going to be the ones that increase your defense, which is going to protect you during Foundry and Canyon and other events. So these 2 are incredibly important, especially when it comes to later leveling. When you actually get 2 legendary gear to make them red, you'll notice here that they come with added bonuses once you start leveling them up past sort of 120, 140, 160. You can see there. So you want to prioritise ideally gears that are going to give you the next sort of big boost to your city. So having an extra 20% defense on your infantry is going to be absolutely massive. So this is the sort of order that you want to be doing, and it should be infantry first, followed by marksmen and then lancers. That should be your priority. And now, just to extend this over what I've already talked about, I'm just going to have a quick flick down to my island. Now my island is not particularly pretty. I do not care much about this island as long as it works. I don't really care what it looks like. But if you use this button here with the 3 lines on it, it will show you all of your bonuses. So again, we're going to go for things like the infantry defense. We're going to go for the marksman attack and the lancer attack. So if you're going to do those 3 first, you can just tap on them and it will show you which buildings give which bonuses. So as you can see here, my snow castle is already at level 10 for the infantry defense. The observation deck here is level 10 for the marksman attack, and the lancer attack here, the amphitheatre, is also level 10. So this is why some people have actually a higher level prosperity than I do, because I've waited and prioritised just getting the main buildings that I need. And now the last ones I've got to get, or the next one on the list, is the infantry attack, which is the floating market, which is what I'm doing now. So that will be my next one that I take all the way to level 10. To be able to boost my the job my infantry is doing, because they are the most important. And this will then move on to anything else you do, like research. If I go to my battle tree here, you can see I've got plenty of these done. But you'll see here I've actually prioritised things like the lancer and marksman attack here, and actually the infantry defence. And I've purposely left out and skipped these 2 because these are marksman and lancer defensive research. So I've moved on. You can see I've done a few more here as I'm making my way through. But same thing again. I'm increasing the attack and lethality of marksman and lancer, and the shield of the infantry in everything I've done, and then the defense for the marksman and lancer have been left till last again for this part. So this game does follow a pattern. For this number 5 here, number 6, sorry, I've actually skipped through all of it. I've done just enough to carry on, ideally because I'm working towards just getting a bigger march. But it will be the same thing. I will eventually do these two, and then make my way down to the last one again, and then eventually I'll come back and I'll fill in all the ones that I've missed, to get the sort of the boosts that are left, we shall say. And even with War Academy, all of these things here, you can prioritise things like the marksman lethality to get all the boosts that you need for extra damage on bear, and you also want to prioritise things like the extra infantry health here, although you should be working towards just one, but these starter research pieces here are all fairly cheap for what they are. I'd recommend that you probably at least finish the first 3 from each side, and then just focus on going one particular T11, either marksman or infantry. Again, for the same reasons, you want the infantry to to be able to protect your city at all times, and you want the marksman to do all the damage towards bear. If you ever see most of the whales or the big players, they'll often use in their videos that they make, whenever they hold a rally, they attack somebody. You'll see here that what they're going to be going for is the highest damage possible, and something like let me just adjust this, something like a 50 20 30 is something that you'll see quite often. Now for me right now it's not much of a damage boost because my couple of my heroes are a little bit outdated, but they'll be I'll be getting new heroes for those soon. We've got Hector out this week for our server, so that'll be a nice big boost for my infantry. But that is the general idea. If we can prioritise anything that's going to boost the marksman and lancer's damage and the infantry shield, that is ideal. And there's actually a visual representation of this if you will go to the exploration tab. Now you've seen many of these fights play out many times, but ideally it's the same sort of thing. You'll see that there's always going to be infantry in the front. They're the guys who take all the damage. You need those guys to be like a brick wall. You don't want anybody getting through, while everybody who causes damage, no, you don't need to see my ugly face. Everybody who causes damage needs to be protected so that they last longer. So the longer the infantry can hold the enemy out, the more chance that the guys in the back row will be able to do the damage. And the arena or exploration here is exactly the same way that it plays out in Expedition, which is when you're actually attacking things like the polar terrors or enemies during events. So that's all you have to remember, is the way that the arena or an exploration is set up should be the way that your marches and your formations are also set up during attacks. So as long as we remember to prioritise the right research, the right hero gear, the War Academy, if you're working on that, the island, and anything where you can boost the stats on your sort of on the correct statistics for each like troop type, then that is how you are going to really optimize your account to be able to protect yourself and do the correct damage for any event in this game. So I would urge you all to do the same, and as you've seen here, everything I tell you guys about and everything I explain, I do put into practice myself. So I'm not just going to say it and then not do it myself. It's something that I believe works, and I've definitely seen plenty of proof to say that it does work. This is also the same way that many of the top players organise themselves to be able to get to the statistics they do. Obviously whales will just buy anything and everything, so it doesn't really matter as much to them. They're going to gain power regardless. But for us smaller guys, we really need to focus on maximising the correct defense and the correct attack to be able to progress and grow fairly quickly within the game. So I hope this helps to give you an idea of what to level next if you are unsure, and if you have any other questions, just let me know. Cheers guys, peace.